from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Hello there, good evening and welcome to the National News Broadcast. I'm Niketh Karunaratne.
And I'm Kasuni Balachandra Adhikari. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for tonight.
The Sri Lanka multi-day fishing craft has been rescued from Somalian pirates. 3 of the robbers have been arrested. Display of the registration number is mandatory in the event of charging VAT. The prices of 5 varieties of tea fertilizer have been reduced by 2,000 rupees. Measures to reduce traffic congestion in Kaduwela and Athuragiriya without delay. Lohan Ratwatta has been appointed as the State Minister of Plantation Industries and Mahaveli Development. A new Higher Education Commission in place of the University Grants Commission. A drone attack on a US base near the Jordan-Syria border has killed 3 soldiers.
On to those and other stories in detail now. The Coast Guard of Seychelles has rescued the Lorenzo Puta 4, the multi-day fishing craft that disappeared in the Arabian Sea from the clutches of Somalian sea pirates.
The Navy of Seychelles has informed of this fact to the Sri Lankan government today. The information has been delivered to Senior Presidential Advisor on National Security and Chief of Presidential Staff Sagala Ratnayaka. The Lorenzo Puta 4 multi-day fishing craft had commenced its maiden sea voyage carrying 6 fishermen from the Dikkovita Fisheries Harbour on the 12th of this month. The Department of Fisheries had received information relating to the Somalian sea pirates abducting the vessel at a location 1,160 nautical miles from the shore in the Arabian Sea. Immediately upon receipt of the news, the Sri Lankan Navy had informed the Joint Maritime Force comprising 40 countries located in Bahrain to look into the whereabouts of the fishing craft. Accordingly, the Seychelles Coast Guard had unleashed a special operation in search of the vessel. It had notified the Sri Lankan authorities that in the raid, the 6 fishermen were rescued unharmed and 3 of the sea pirates were taken into custody. The search operation has got underway under the guidance of Senior Presidential Advisor on National Security and Chief of Presidential Staff Sagala Ratnayaka. Steps have been taken to bring the multi-day fishing craft under special supervision of the Sri Lankan Navy. The President's Media Division says that the Seychelles Coast Guard force has informed that the vessel is presently being brought to the Victoria Harbour. Director General of Department of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Susanta Kahavatta said currently Coast Guard craft are bringing the vessel and the fishermen to the state of Seychelles. He also said that as the ambassador had stated, there were 3 armed individuals in the Sri Lankan craft. They have been arrested by the Coast Guard. The Director General also said that the Sri Lanka Navy has been monitoring the situation closely in the past 24 hours. He also said the crew of the Sri Lankan craft have given calls to the other vessels stating that their radio communications have been activated. State Minister Piyal Nishanta said that they want to extend their thanks and respect to the Sri Lankan ambassador in the state of Seychelles, to the Navy and the Foreign Affairs Ministry for their untiring efforts to rescue the craft and the fishermen.
Now, the Prime Minister of Thailand will be the honorary invitee of the 76th Independence Day commemoration. He's scheduled to arrive in the island on the 3rd of next month. He will be visiting Sri Lanka on an invitation extended by President Ranil Wickremesinghe. The Thai Prime Minister during his 2-day official tour is also scheduled to conduct official talks with President Ranil Wickremesinghe. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs say the visiting Prime Minister is also expected to monitor the free trade agreement to be signed between Sri Lanka and Thailand. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Commerce of Thailand Tunnam Chichayave and Minister of Trade, Commerce and Food Security Nalin Fernando are scheduled to sign the agreement with the objective of further consolidating bilateral relations in trade and
investment. The free trade agreement is intended for Sri Lanka's strong linkage with the economies of Asian countries. The Foreign Affairs Ministry adds that the two countries also hope to renew bilateral aviation services agreement. A memorandum of understanding between institutions dealing with gems and jewellery and research of the two countries is also expected to be signed. The Thai Prime Minister will be accompanied by a delegation comprising Deputy Foreign Minister and 39 high-ranking businessmen of Thailand. On the sidelines of the visit, holding of a Sri Lanka-Thailand Business Forum is also anticipated.
A tripartite agreement has been reached to provide tea fertilizer at concessionary prices today. Minister Mahinda Amaravira has presided over the meeting held in this connection at the Ministry of Agriculture today. Accordingly, the prices of 5 varieties of special fertilizer used in the tea industry will be reduced by 2,000 rupees. At present, tea fertilizer is being sold in the market at a price of 13,000 rupees. It has also been reported that as a result of the non-application of the necessary types of manure, the monthly tender leaves output has fallen to 200 to 250 kilograms per acre. The Ministry of Agriculture decided to extend instructions to the relevant divisions by taking into consideration the situation. Accordingly, the chairman of the Colombo Commercial Company and the Ceylon Fertilizer Company, the Sri Lanka Tea Board and the Tea Smallholders Authority have entered into the tripartite agreement. As a result, the price of a bag of tea fertilizer of the types of T200 and T750 will be reduced to 5,500 rupees. Steps have also been taken to bring down the price of a bag of U709 and U834 types of fertilizer.
A special notification has been released today to enlighten consumers and the business community regarding the VAT and how it is being implemented. It was issued jointly by the Department of Inland Revenue and the Consumer Affairs Authority. The objective of the media release is to protect the consumer, to streamline trade and to educate on the accurate policy of collecting state tax revenue. This was disclosed at a media briefing in Colombo today. Chairman of the Consumer Affairs Authority, Attorney at Law Shantani Riala said that it was mandatory for VAT-registered business entities to visibly display their VAT registration number when they engage in business transactions. He further said that if anyone is affected by such unlawful practices, they can complain to the IRD Commissioner General directly. If VAT is being charged by unregistered sellers, they will be penalized. The sellers should well display which items sold with VAT and which items are sold without VAT. Such charges should be displayed clearly to the customers. Items where VAT has been added, addition of another 18% by invoice is prohibited.
Now, Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says a speedy program will get underway to minimize traffic congestion in Kaduwela and Atharugiriya. The minister was participating in a final series of discussions for the inauguration of a town development project centering on transportation. The meeting was held at the auditorium at the Kaduwela Municipal Council. Many programs and suggestions with attention on minimizing transport difficulties experienced daily by the people in Atharugiriya and Kaduwela were taken up for discussion. A group comprising Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena, Parliamentarian Major Pradeep Undugoda and officials were engaged in an inspection tour in the relevant areas recently. As a result, it has become possible to recommence implementation of several infrastructure facility development projects which had remained stagnant for the past 3 years. The minister has reiterated the need to give priority for the speedy development of essential locations. The minister has also especially looked into the issue of short and long-term programs to minimize massive traffic blocks in Atharugiriya and Kaduwela. As a means to lessen road and vehicle blockage in Atharugiriya, the existing bus halt is scheduled to be relocated to a bare land near the Millennium City Housing Complex. The minister has also instructed officials to immediately commence and finalize projects pertaining to broadening roads at certain locations and to finalize the payment of compensation. Attention has also been focused to engage in alternate measures to overcome obstructions confronted due to the clock tower in the city junction. The minister has also ordered the officials to streamline the drainage system in the Kaduwela town. Representatives of traders' associations in Kaduwela and Atharugiriya have extended their appreciation to the minister and the officials for identifying the people's needs and for their correct guidance on the development of the area. They've also pledged to extend their maximum support for any development activity.
Lohan Ratwata has been appointed as the State Minister of Plantation Industries and Mahaweli Development. He was sworn in before President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the President's office today. President Secretary Saman Ekanaika was also present on the occasion. Former President Maithripala Sirisena says that an alliance under the leadership of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party will be born tonight. He has made these remarks to a media personnel after a meeting at the party headquarters today. Former President Maithripala Sirisena said that work on the forming of the new alliance has been completed to a greater extent. It will be announced tonight. He also said that it is not possible at present to disclose the number of parties joining the alliance, as there were many. He also said that good candidates will be presented.
Now, Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena has stated that political differences should be limited only to political debates, and the public servants should provide fullest support to political leadership. He expressed these views at the Polonnaruwa District Progress Review meeting held on the multi-sector integrated mechanism for empowering rural economic revitalization centers to ensure food security and nutrition under the New Village, New Country National Integrated Development Program held at the Polonnaruwa District Secretariat Auditorium today. Speaking on this occasion, Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena further said that they should build up the country with great confidence. No matter what the opinions of the public are, the public servants must keep their faith. Today, the country has raised its head from the serious setback it had fallen into. Countries of the world stopped having transactions with Sri Lanka, and the banking system also stopped transactions. The country regained confidence after a period of difficult times, which it dealt with and created a better condition. Although there were insignificant issues still pending, the country has been recovered from a great collapse. The confidence of government employees is noteworthy. They represent a learned group of people who are aware of the situation in the world. Greece has also been confronted with an economic downturn, but they reduced government employees. But Sri Lanka didn't do that. Pension payments and salaries were never halted. Farmers had become a great strength for them to increase the production of country and earn a surplus. The world had faith in Sri Lanka. Today, it is a well-known fact that the country could move forward based on its own. The North Central Province Governor Mahipala Herath, State Minister Siripala Gamlat, Janaka Kumra, and Polonnaruwa District Coordination Committee Chairman Member of Parliament Jagat Samaravikrama, Members of Parliament Kins Nelson, Yadamini Gunawardena and state officials have attended the event.
Motor vehicle factory in Sri Lanka. Accordingly, manufacturing of motor cars, motorcycles and three-wheelers as well as light trucks are to be taken place in a local plant. State Minister Rohana Dissanayake says that the factory will be set up on behalf of state employees and businessmen. State Minister Rohana Dissanayake said that the government has taken measures to export small crops with the collaboration of Chengdu province of China. Measures will be taken in future with the collaboration of Department of Motor Traffic for the assembling of electric cars and motorcycles in Sri Lanka. Now, Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that the security of the motherland and citizens is dependent upon the three armed forces of the nation.
He further says that it is expected from the officials who become the authority to extend support to the continuous process of turning the Sri Lanka Navy into a comprehensive institute enriched with professional skills, as well as to commit themselves on behalf of the unitary nature of the country. The Prime Minister has made these observations attending the passing out parade of officials of the Naval and Oceanic Sciences Academy in Trincomalee yesterday. 49 officials who have successfully completed training took part in the parade. They included the group recruited to the 38th batch of the General Sir John Kotilavala Defence University and the 64th batch of the Naval and Oceanic Sciences Faculty of Trincomalee. Those who have been elevated to the authority and adjudged as the best sportsperson, best target shooter and best central official were presented with awards. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena has further stated on this occasion that the tasks undertaken in natural disasters, in addition to the responsibilities of the Sri Lanka Navy in engaging in Sri Lanka's maritime region security, is being appreciated. Commander-in-Chief of the Sri Lanka Navy, Vice Admiral Priyantha Pereira, and senior and high-ranking officials of the Sri Lanka Army have also taken part in this ceremony.
State Minister Suren Raghavan says that a new Higher Education Commission will be established in place of the University Grants Commission this year. He points out that in the process of creating a new higher education policy to fulfill global requirement, the structure and activities of the current University Grants Commission has become an impediment.
State Minister Suren Raghavan said that the greatest menace in the university system is ragging. The problem of eradicating ragging is due to obstruction from certain professors and staff who ignore the act of ragging. He further said that ragging has made a tremendous impact on the people, and the affected families do not like to see their children studying in universities where this takes place. The attitudes of society should change. The State Minister further said that they agree with the demands of the youth for more government transparency. These acts were conducted by a small group of individuals. The government believes that a new mechanism is a necessity to upgrade to the modern needs of the university structural system. Suren Raghavan also said, therefore, the government plans to introduce a Higher Education Commission within this year.
And here's more local news items in brief. 30 small stalls of shops were fully destroyed by a fire in the center of the Mavanala town last night. The fire service unit of the Mavanala Pradesh Sabha, the police and residents were able to douse the fire. 2 youth were killed in a road accident in the Passarayaya junction in Sellakatragama yesterday. Several others have received serious injuries, and the accident had occurred due to a van colliding with a parked motorcycle and hitting a tree. 836 suspected criminals have been taken into custody in island-wide police operations in the past 24 hours. And here's more news coming right after this break.
Hot and spicy fun vibe එක විවර කරන්න beat එක remake කරන්නට වෙන්න
And in your foreign news tonight, the United States military says that 3 US service members have been killed and at least 34 others wounded in a drone attack in northeast Jordan near the Syrian border.
Islamic resistance in Iraq, an umbrella group of Iran-backed armed groups, claimed attacks targeting 3 bases, including one on the Jordan-Syria border. Jordan condemned the terrorist attack on a military advance post just inside its border with Syria and said it was cooperating with Washington to secure its frontier. In the first official statement on the attack, Jordan said it was working with Washington to fight terrorism. It is the first deadly strike against US forces since the Israel-Hamas war erupted in October and marks a major escalation in tensions that have engulfed the Middle East. US President Joe Biden asked for a moment of silence for the 3 killed service members during a campaign event in South Carolina, adding US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin echoed that threat. He and other senior officials briefed Biden earlier in the day on the attack. At least 34 personnel were injured in the attack, but that number is expected to change.
Ranbir Kapoor and Alia Bhatt won top acting honours at the 69th edition of Filmfare Awards held in Gujarat. In the award ceremony this year, Alia Bhatt took home the Best Actress award for her role in Rocky Aur Rani Ki Prem Kahani, while her husband Ranbir Kapoor won Best Actor award for his stellar performance in Animal. Sandeep Reddy Vanga's Animal won a total of 6 trophies, while Vidhu Vinod Chopra's 12th Fail won some of the biggest awards for the night, including Best Film, Best Director, Best Screenplay and Best Editing. Filmmaker David Dhawan was given the Lifetime Achievement Award, and this year the ceremony was held over 2 days. The technical awards were given out on Saturday and other awards were handed out on Sunday. Now taking a look at your sports news tonight, the Australian team has secured a 6-wicket victory against the Sri Lankan team in an Under-19 World Cup cricket tournament match played in South Africa.
The Sri Lankan team, which came to bat first, were all out for 208 runs in 49 overs and 5 deliveries. The Australian team in 48 overs and 5 deliveries has fulfilled the victory target with 6 wickets in hand. The Sri Lankan team, which competed under the C group in the preliminary round of the tournament, has won 2 out of the 3 matches and has thereby qualified for the Super 8 round. Successful in establishing a test match victory against the Australian team since the year 1997. The West Indies have recorded an 8-run victory in the second test of the current series between the two countries. The match was played in Brisbane City in Australia. The Australian team, facing a victory target of 216 runs, were bowled out for 207. Shamar Joseph, who took 7 wickets, has recorded the best bowling figures for the West Indies. He was also adjudged as the man of the match and also the series.
Big catch, big wicket. Wow, what about this? He's got... He's got him! And he's off! The West Indies have created the most amazing thing here in the world of cricket.
Unbelievable! 27 years to beat Australia in Australia. Young, inexperienced, written off.
Italian player Jannik Sinner was able to win the men's single championship trophy of the Australian Open tennis tournament. In the finals, he beat Russian competitor Daniil Medvedev 3-2 yesterday. This was the first occasion of Jannik Sinner's winning of an Open tennis tournament. It was also his first Grand Slam tennis tournament.
His maiden major happens in Melbourne.
Decent and very honest and true to themselves, I think. So I think we deserve to be proud of both of them. And the whole tournament, gee, what a phenomenon it's been this year. But yeah.
And that's all the news for tonight. Join us again at the same time tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.